Okay, grab your popcorn. We're going off script to dive into the latest controversies, this time with Disney's new live-action Snow White. And they might have to, they might have you saying, hi-ho, oh no.
Hello? Is there anybody here?
So first there were people online questioning the casting of a Latina actress as Snow White. Then you had two stars of the film, Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, who have been vocal but on opposing sides of the Israel-Hamas war. We haven't even mentioned the 7 Dwarves yet. I know the look of fear in your eyes, but I recall during the election, Ron DeSantis, his battle with Disney and Florida, and the kind of right-leaning conversation which said something like, go woke, go broke. So you have thoughts.
I have thoughts, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie Snow Latina and the 7 digitally enhanced full-size people who, in the form of what formerly used to be called dwarves. That's the movie we need for these times more than anything else. And
I think that's what you're getting. Yeah, okay.
Right. But goodness, everything is a minefield when it comes to whether it's representations in films and so on. And I think we could have seen this coming a mile off.
But it doesn't have to be. Like I said, there was a remake of the Snow White story. It didn't need any of this. It did really well for Charlize Theron and, you know, Kristen Stewart. Rob, Bluey, for you, what do you see in how Disney is even handling this?
Sure, Disney's trying to navigate. I mean, I think they recognize that there's a huge portion of the American audience that does not want to see them go down this path of you know, embracing DEI, and that's why they pulled back in some respects. On the other hand, I don't think the leadership necessarily has changed their views or their values and principles, and so you're going to continue to see controversies like this emerge.
Can you talk about this point? Because, like, what do you mean by DEI in Snow White?
Well, I'm just saying Disney, as you brought up the Ron DeSantis point. So Disney, like other corporations, has decided that they are going to withdraw some of their language around that issue because they see it as divisive with a certain population of the customer base. I mean, it goes back to the Michael Jordan point. Republicans buy sneakers too.
But I think this is the problem, right? Like this conversation gets so large so quickly. Is it about a very narrow point about hiring and making sure you're hiring the most competent people? Or is it about any sorts of diversity, whether or not it's in film, whether it's in art?
Yeah.
That is also part of the problem.
Because it sometimes plays out in a really perfunctory, simple way, which is sort of like, a black mermaid? What? You know what I mean? It's like, they're already mermaids. It's imaginary. And then in other ways, it plays out, as you're saying, corporate policy. And I think the question is when those cross with the creativity and get into the crosshairs of these culture wars.
And of course, at the same time, this is a problem where, you know, this is a fight that's actually happening within Disney, right? This is a corporate, private market conversation, and yet this becomes political so quickly. It becomes a question about why are Democrats doing this who have like no control over Disney's policies. And that's I think a really big problem in the culture war for the Democratic Party because they're not responsible for a lot of the arms of the cultural liberalism that they're having to be associated with.
The party, though, whereas the activists of the past who did have a platform in Twitter that they no longer have, there's a little bit of a hangover there.
Right. No, the other thing I would say is slightly different is that this insatiable thirst for new content that plagues Disney. You see it with Marvel, you see it with Star Wars. I don't know
or reimagined IP.
That's what I mean. But reimagined IP is a great way to put it. Did we need a new Snow White film? And anyone who's read a newspaper in the last 10 years could have predicted all of these backlashes around a new Snow White film. Now, to your point a little bit earlier, Audie, why does it have to be that way and why can't people just enjoy the film? It's a fair point, but Disney could have anticipated all of this for a film that, I don't know, maybe come up with something else.
Okay, thanks for letting me go off script with you guys, because honestly, this is what is blowing up my chat, is like, is anyone taking their kid to this movie?